"Congratulations, Aunt Sarah, I'm pregnant." Those were the words my younger sister Emma said to me over FaceTime while I was at a conference in Chicago. For a split second, I was thrilled. Until she added, "It's Ryan's." My Ryan. My boyfriend of 3 years. The man I'd been planning to marry. 6 months later, I'm raising my nephew while my sister learns what it's like when a narcissist gets what he wants and doesn't want it anymore. Stay with me and I'll tell you how I lost everything and gained something I never expected. A son who calls me mama and a sister who finally understands that some men love bomb their way into destroying families. Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Trace and I'm 32 years old, living in Portland, Oregon. This story is still unfolding, still complicated, still painful in ways I can't fully articulate. But I need to share it because when I was desperately Googling boyfriend cheated with sister at 2 a.m. in a hotel room, I needed to find a story like mine. If you're dealing with family betrayal, narcissistic manipulation, or wondering how much forgiveness is too much, maybe my story will help you navigate your own impossible situation. I met Ryan Chan in February 2021 at a tech conference in downtown Seattle. I was there representing my accounting firm. He was presenting his startup, an app that promised to revolutionize personal finance through AI. I know, every tech bro in Seattle has a revolutionary app, but Ryan was different, or so I thought. He was 32, Taiwanese American, with that specific Seattle tech look, designer jeans, expensive sneakers, a hoodie that somehow cost $300, but he wore it well. He was confident without being arrogant, smart without being condescending, charming without being sleazy. I attended his presentation mostly because the coffee line was too long and I needed somewhere to sit, but his talk was actually engaging. He made financial technology accessible, funny even. When he made a joke about Excel spreadsheets being the real MVP of accounting, he looked directly at me and winked. I was wearing my company badge, Trace & Associates Accounting. After his presentation, he found me at the networking mixer. "So, did I get the Excel joke right, or did I just offend every accountant in the room?" "It was accurate," I laughed. "Painfully accurate." "Ryan Chen," he extended his hand, founder of FinGenius and apparently comedian of spreadsheet jokes. "Sarah Trace, senior accountant, and apparently your target audience." Would my target audience be interested in coffee? Real coffee, not this conference swamp water. We left the conference and went to a little cafe on Pike Street. What was supposed to be a quick coffee turned into 3 hours of conversation. Ryan was engaging, asking real questions about my work, my life, my interests. He remembered everything I said, referencing earlier comments, making connections. "So you're from Portland originally? You have a younger sister who's an influencer, which you find hilarious. You hate pumpkin spice anything, despite being a basic Seattle girl in every other way. And you can recite The Office from memory," he summarized at the end. "Have you been taking notes?" "Just paying attention. You're interesting, Sarah Trace." The love bombing started immediately, though I didn't recognize it as such. The next day, he sent flowers to my office with a note for making conference coffee worth skipping. My coworkers were impressed. Men didn't do grand gestures anymore. Our first official date was that weekend. He picked me up in his Tesla, of course, took me to Canlis with a reservation he somehow gotten last minute, ordered wine that cost more than my car payment. "This is too much," I protested. "Nothing's too much for you," he said. And the way he looked at me, I believed him. For the first 3 months, Ryan was everything you'd want in a boyfriend. Attentive but not clingy, romantic but not cheesy, ambitious but not obsessed with work. He integrated into my life seamlessly. My friends loved him. He remembered their names, their stories, asked about their lives. My parents were thrilled. A successful, handsome man who clearly adored their daughter. And then there was Emma. My sister Emma was 25, 4 years younger than me, and everything I wasn't. Where I was practical, she was spontaneous. Where I was reserved, she was outgoing. I worked with numbers in an office. She worked with ring lights in her apartment, building her influencer brand around fashion and lifestyle. We'd always been close, despite our differences. She was my baby sister, my best friend, my roommate until Ryan and I got serious. When I introduced them, I expected Emma to tease me about dating a tech bro. Instead, she was uncharacteristically quiet. "He's really handsome," she said after he left. "I know, right? And successful." "Yeah." "You're lucky, Sarah." Something in her tone felt off, but I dismissed it. Emma had been going through a rough patch, a breakup with her photographer boyfriend, struggling to monetize her Instagram, feeling lost at 25. I thought maybe she was just feeling the comparison. "You'll find someone amazing too," I assured her. "Yeah, maybe." Ryan was incredibly sweet about Emma from the start. When she complained about losing brand deals, he offered to look at her business model. When she needed new photos for her feed, he connected her with the photographer friend. When she was sad about being single, he assured her she was a catch and any guy would be lucky. "Your sister's great," he'd tell me. "I can see the family resemblance, both beautiful, both smart in different ways." I loved that he was so accepting of Emma. My ex had found her vapid and annoying, but Ryan seemed to genuinely enjoy her company. He'd include her in our plans, invite her to dinners, make sure she didn't feel like a third wheel. "You don't mind that Emma's around so much, right?" I asked him once.
Of course not. She's family. Your family is my family. By month 6, we were saying I love you. By month 9, we were living together in a 2-bedroom apartment in Capitol Hill. By our 1-year anniversary, we were talking about marriage, kids, the future. "I want everything with you," Ryan said that night, holding me close. "The white picket fence, the kids, the minivan." "A minivan? You drive a Tesla." "I'd drive a minivan for you. A really bougie electric minivan, but still." We laughed. We were happy. We were planning a life together. Emma was around constantly by then. She'd gotten kicked out of her apartment, roommate drama, and was crashing on our couch temporarily while she looked for a new place. Ryan was incredibly gracious about it. "She's going through a tough time," he'd say when I apologized for the invasion. "We have the space. It's what family does." Emma was grateful, helpful around the apartment, careful not to intrude on our couple time. She'd cook dinner for us, clean obsessively, disappear when we wanted privacy. The perfect house guest. Looking back, the signs were there. The way Emma dressed up more when Ryan was home, the way Ryan's eyes lingered a second too long when she walked by in her yoga clothes, the inside jokes that developed between them while I was at work, the way they'd stop talking when I entered a room. But I trusted them both completely. Ryan was my boyfriend, my future husband. Emma was my sister, my blood. The idea that they'd betray me was literally unthinkable. Year 2 of our relationship started with Ryan pulling back slightly. Not dramatically, just less. Less sex, less romance, less enthusiasm about our future plans. When I brought it up, he had explanations. "Work is insane right now. We're about to close Series B funding." "I'm just stressed. You know I love you." "We're past the honeymoon phase. This is normal." But then came the comparisons to Emma. "Emma's really killing it with her content lately," he'd say while I was doing our taxes. "That's great," I'd respond, focused on receipts. "She's so creative. It's impressive how she's built something from nothing." "You could learn from her, about taking risks, being entrepreneurial." I'd look up then. "I have a career, Ryan." "I know, I just mean..." Never mind. These comments became frequent. Emma was fun while I was serious. Emma was spontaneous while I was rigid. Emma understood hustle culture while I was stuck in corporate thinking. "Are you saying you wish I was more like my sister?" I finally asked one night. "What? No! God, Sarah, why do you always assume the worst? I'm just appreciating Emma's qualities. I'm allowed to compliment your sister without it being some weird thing." I felt crazy for being upset. He was right. He should be able to compliment Emma. They were becoming friends. That was good, right? The gaslighting intensified when I noticed them spending time together without me. "Emma and I grabbed lunch," Ryan would mention casually. "Oh? When?" "Today. You were in that meeting." "You could have told me." "Why? Do I need permission to eat lunch with your sister?" "No, but..." "Sarah, this jealousy is really unattractive. Emma's family. Are you seriously threatened by your own sister?" I'd end up apologizing, feeling petty and insecure. Emma, meanwhile, was thriving. Her Instagram followers doubled. She was getting brand deals again. She was glowing, radiant, happier than I'd seen her in years. "You look amazing," I told her one day. "Thanks." "Ryan's been helping me with my business strategy. He's so smart, Sarah. You're so lucky." "Yeah, I am." He really sees potential in people, you know? Like he believes in me. The way she said it made my stomach churn, but I pushed the feeling down. I was being paranoid, jealous of my own sister's success. What kind of person was I? Ryan started suggesting Emma join us for everything. Date nights became group hangs. Romantic dinners included Emma because she looked lonely. Our couple's vacation to Hawaii became a trio trip because Emma's never been and it would be mean to exclude her. In Hawaii was where things shifted visibly. Ryan and Emma went surfing while I read on the beach. They took sunrise hikes while I slept in. They did a sunset photo shoot for her Instagram while I worked on my laptop. "You two have fun?" I asked one evening after they returned from yet another adventure. "It was amazing," Emma gushed. "Ryan's such a good teacher. I actually stood up on the board." "She's a natural," Ryan added, high-fiving her. They were glowing, excited, connected in a way that felt intimate. I felt like the third wheel on my own vacation. "I'm glad you're bonding," I said, trying to mean it. That night, Ryan and I had sex for the first time in weeks. But he seemed distracted, distant, like he was somewhere else. Afterward, he immediately went to shower. No cuddling, no pillow talk. I lay there feeling used and confused. What was happening to us? Back in Seattle, Emma finally found an apartment, but was over constantly anyway. She and Ryan had started doing yoga together. "You should join us," Ryan suggested. "I hate yoga, you know that." "Emma converted me. It's actually amazing for mental clarity." "Since when do you care about mental clarity?" "Since I tried it. Don't be so closed-minded, Sarah." They went to yoga 3 times a week, sometimes more. Always at times when I was working or busy. Always coming back flushed and energized, talking about positions and breathing and how connected they felt. I tried going once. The instructor kept adjusting Ryan and Emma's poses, pressing them closer together, complimenting their energy. I spent the entire class watching my boyfriend's hands on my sister's waist as they did partner poses, feeling sick. "That was fun," Emma said after. "So fun," I lied. "You looked tense," Ryan observed. "Yoga's about letting go, Sarah. You're too controlled."
Maybe yoga's just not for me. Everything's not for you lately, he muttered. The criticism was constant now. I was too uptight, too boring, too focused on work, too conventional. Everything Emma was, I wasn't. Everything I was, Emma wasn't. Why are you even with me? I asked one night after another comparison. Because I love you, he said automatically. Despite your flaws. Despite them? Everyone has flaws, Sarah. The difference is being willing to work on them. What flaws does Emma have? He paused. That's different. She's not my girlfriend. But the way he said it, the way he looked when he said it, made me wonder if he wished she was. Family dinners became torture. Ryan would sit between us, engaging Emma in animated conversation while I talked to our parents. He'd compliment her outfit, her hair, her latest Instagram post, while barely acknowledging me. Ryan's so sweet, my mom said one night. The way he includes Emma makes her feel special. Not all men would be so kind to their girlfriend's sister.
Yeah, I agreed weakly. He's very kind. Too kind, I thought. Way too kind. You're lucky, Sarah, my dad added. A man who treats your family like his own is a keeper. Emma beamed at Ryan. He smiled back. I wanted to scream. Later that night, I confronted him again. You're attracted to Emma. Here we go again. Just admit it. Sarah, I'm not having this conversation for the 100th time. Your insecurity is exhausting. My insecurity? You spend more time with my sister than me. Because she's actually pleasant to be around. She doesn't accuse me of things constantly. She doesn't analyze every interaction. She's just easy. Easy to be around. God, you twist everything. Maybe I wouldn't twist things if they weren't already twisted. You know what? I'm going for a walk. To Emma's? Jesus Christ, Sarah. Get help. He left. He was gone for 3 hours. When he came back, he smelled like Emma's perfume. Where were you? Walking. Thinking. Thinking about what? Whether this relationship is worth it. The threat hung between us. I backed down, apologized, promised to work on my trust issues. That night, I went through his phone while he slept. There were hundreds of texts with Emma. Nothing explicitly incriminating, but intimate. Late-night conversations about dreams and fears. Inside jokes I didn't understand. Photos from their yoga sessions. Emma in poses, Ryan adjusting her form. One text stood out. Emma, I feel guilty. Ryan, don't. We're not doing anything wrong. Emma, it feels wrong. Ryan, feelings aren't actions. I screenshotted it, my hands shaking. When I confronted Ryan the next morning, he turned it around on me. You went through my phone? That's psycho behavior, Sarah. Probably about being happy when you're so miserable. Probably about having a friendship with me when you're so jealous. Probably about existing in your presence when you clearly resent her. I don't resent Emma. You obviously do. You can't stand that we get along. You can't stand that she's flourishing. You can't stand that I see potential in her. What kind of potential? Business potential. Jesus, Sarah, get your mind out of the gutter. I felt crazy. Was I creating drama where none existed? Was I really the problem? The breaking point came in month 30 of our relationship, March 2024.
I had a conference in Chicago, a big one, potential promotion writing on it. Ryan seemed supportive. Go kill it, babe. Emma and I will hold down the fort. Emma staying here? Her apartment has a mold issue. Didn't she tell you? Emma hadn't told me anything lately. We'd grown distant, my suspicion creating a wall between us. How long? Just while you're gone. Few days. Don't worry, I'll take care of her. The phrasing made me uncomfortable, but I had to go. This conference was important for my career. I left on a Tuesday morning. Ryan kissed me goodbye, told me he loved me, wished me luck. Emma hugged me, said she'd miss me. They stood in the doorway, waving as my Uber pulled away, looking like a couple seeing off a house guest. The conference was intense. Presentations, networking, dinners that ran late. I barely had time to call home. When I did, Ryan was always busy, in a meeting, at the gym, grabbing dinner with investors. Emma texted me updates. Ryan made dinner. He's so sweet. Watching Netflix with your man, he misses you. Thanks for letting me crash. You're the best sister ever. Each text felt like a knife, but I told myself I was being paranoid. Thursday night, I finished early. My presentation had gone perfectly. I'd made amazing connections. There was talk of making me partner. I was flying high and wanted to share the news with Ryan. I tried calling, but he didn't answer. I called Emma. She answered on the third ring, breathless. Hey, Sarah. Hi. Hey, is Ryan there? I have amazing news. He's in the shower. Oh, at 8 p.m.? We just got back from yoga. Yoga's still happening? Yeah, you know Ryan, creature of habit. Something in her voice was off. Guilty. Nervous. Emma, is everything okay? Everything is great, perfect. I should go. I'm making dinner. For Ryan? For us. I mean, we have to eat, right? Right. Love you, Em. Crush that conference. She hung up quickly. Too quickly. I tried to focus on networking, but my mind was back in Seattle, in my apartment, with my boyfriend and my sister. Alone. Together. Friday morning, I was supposed to stay for the closing keynote, but I couldn't shake the feeling something was wrong. I changed my flight, deciding to surprise Ryan with an early return. The flight home felt eternal. I told myself I'd walk in to find them watching TV, eating takeout, being normal. I'd feel stupid for doubting them. We'd laugh about my paranoia. I got home at 3 p.m. The apartment was quiet. Ryan's car was in the garage, so he was home, probably working from the home office. I opened the door quietly, wanting to surprise him. The living room was empty, but there were 2 wine glasses on the coffee table. Lunch wine? That was weird for Ryan. I heard voices from the bedroom, our bedroom. My heart started pounding. We should stop, Emma's voice. We will. When Sarah gets back, everything goes back to normal. Can it though, after this? We have to. I pushed open the bedroom door. They were both clothed, thank God, but sitting on my bed, Emma's head on Ryan's shoulder, his arm around her, intimate, comfortable, like a couple. They jumped apart when they saw me. Sarah! Ryan stood up. You're early. Conference ended early, I said, my voice surprisingly calm. What's going on? Nothing, Emma said too quickly. We were just talking. On my bed. Emma was upset, Ryan explained. About her ex. She needed comfort. Her ex from 8 months ago. It still hurts, Emma said weakly. Get out, I said to Emma. Sarah, get out of my apartment, now. Emma grabbed her things and practically ran out. Ryan started toward me. Don't, I warned him. Do not come near me.
Sarah, you're overreacting. Nothing happened. I heard you. When Sarah gets back, everything goes back to normal. What needs to go back to normal, Ryan? You misunderstood. I've been misunderstanding for months, haven't I? All the yoga, the lunches, the inside jokes. You're having an affair with my sister. We're not having an affair. Then what are you having? He was quiet for a long moment. I don't know. You don't know? I care about her, but I love you. You care about her? She gets me in ways you don't. She's uncomplicated, fun, easy to be with. She's my sister. I know. That's why nothing physical has happened. We've been fighting this. Fighting what? The connection, the attraction, the feelings. I sank onto the couch, my legs giving out. How long? How long what? How long have you had feelings for my 25-year-old sister? I don't know. Months? Maybe longer. The yoga started as exercise, became something else. Did you fuck her? No, Sarah, I swear we never. In my bed? We've never had sex. We've just been close. Emotional cheating is still cheating. I know. With my sister. I know. We stared at each other, 3 years crumbling between us. I want you out, I said finally. Sarah, please, we can work through this. You have feelings for Emma. Emma has feelings for you. There's nothing to work through. But I choose you. How generous. You choose me over my little sister? What a sacrifice. That's not. Pack your things. Get out. Take your revolutionary app and your yoga mat and get the fuck out of my life. He packed while I sat numbly on the couch. Before he left, he tried one more manipulation. This is your fault too, you know. You pushed us together. You made us spend time together. You created this situation. I trusted my boyfriend and my sister. That's my fault? You were blind to what was obvious. Emma and I are compatible in ways you and I never were. Then go be with Emma. She won't have me. She's too loyal to you. That's loyalty? Falling for my boyfriend? She didn't mean for it to happen. Neither did I. Sometimes connections just exist. He left that night. I called in sick to work and spent the weekend in bed crying, raging, trying to understand how my life had imploded. Emma tried calling me dozens of times. I ignored them all. She texted essays about how sorry she was, how nothing happened, how she never meant to fall for Ryan, how she'd do anything to fix this. I didn't respond. Ryan also tried reaching out, but I blocked him everywhere. I needed space to think, to process,
to decide if any relationship was salvageable. 2 weeks passed. I threw myself into work, got the promotion, moved to a 1-bedroom apartment since I couldn't afford our place alone. I was surviving, slowly rebuilding. Then Emma showed up at my office. She looked terrible, pale, thin, bags under her eyes, nothing like the glowing influencer she'd been. "Sarah, please, 5 minutes. I'm working. I'm pregnant." The words hit like a physical blow. I stared at her, waiting for the punchline. "It's Ryan's," she whispered. "You said nothing physical happened." "It did, once. The night you left for Chicago. We drank wine, we were talking about you, about how guilty we felt, and it just happened." "It just happened? I'm so sorry." "You fucked my boyfriend the night I left for a business trip in my apartment, in my bed?" "It wasn't like that." "What was it like, Emma? Romantic? Passionate? Everything you dreamed of?" "It was a mistake. Getting pregnant was a mistake. We used protection. I don't know how." "Condoms aren't 100% effective. You'd know that if you weren't too busy fucking my boyfriend to pay attention in health class." "Sarah, please, I need you. I don't know what to do." "Have you told Ryan?" "Yes." "And?" He wants me to get rid of it." "Of course he does. He says it would ruin everything, his company, his relationship with you." "We don't have a relationship. He thinks you'll forgive him eventually, but not if there's a baby. He's delusional." "Sarah, I'm scared. I'm 25. I can't raise a baby alone. But I also can't get rid of it. It's already growing inside me. I can hear its heartbeat." "How far along?" 6 weeks. I did the math. They'd slept together multiple times, not once. The lies kept compiling. "You lied. You said once." "I meant once while you were gone. There were other times after you kicked him out." "After I kicked him out, you went to him?" "He came to me. He was heartbroken. He needed comfort." "And you comforted him with your vagina?" "Sarah." "What? That's what happened, isn't it?" Emma started crying. "I love him." "You love him." "I've loved him for 2 years, since the moment you introduced us. I tried to fight it, I swear I did. But living with you guys, seeing him every day, getting to know him, I fell in love." "So you decided to take him?" "I didn't take anything. He has feelings for me too." "Had." "He had feelings. Now that you're pregnant, where is he?" Emma's silence was answer enough. "He doesn't want the baby, and he doesn't want you," I said flatly. "He wanted the fantasy of you, the fun, uncomplicated version, not the pregnant, scared, real version." "That's not true." "Emma, he's already moved on. I saw on LinkedIn he's dating someone new, another 25-year-old. Emma's face crumbled. "What?" "Check his Instagram." She pulled out her phone, searched his profile. He'd blocked her. I don't understand." "He's a narcissist, Emma. He love-bombed me, then got bored and moved on to you. He love-bombed you, got what he wanted, and now he's moved on to the next target. But the baby!" "He doesn't care about the baby. He doesn't care about you. He didn't care about me. He only cares about himself." Emma sobbed. Ugly, body-shaking sobs. Despite everything, my heart broke for her. She was my little sister. My stupid, naive, home-wrecking little sister. But still my sister. "What am I going to do?" she whispered. "I don't know. Will you help me? Help you what? Figure this out. Please, Sarah, you're the only family I have here. Mom and Dad will kill me if they find out. They're going to find out eventually. Not if I don't keep it. Is that what you want? I don't know what I want. I'm 25, my career is just starting, I have no money saved. The father wants nothing to do with it, but it's a life. It's already real to me. I looked at my little sister, destroyed by the same man who destroyed me, and felt a complicated mix of anger, pity, and resigned love. I need time to think, I said. Okay, thank you. Thank you for not completely shutting me out. I haven't decided anything yet. I know, but thank you for listening. She left, and I sat in my office staring at spreadsheets, trying to process that my ex-boyfriend had impregnated my sister. That night, I did something I'd sworn I wouldn't do. I researched Ryan. Really researched him. Not just his company or his social media, but deep diving into his past. What I found was a pattern. His ex before me, Lisa, had a blog post about surviving narcissistic abuse. She didn't name him, but the details matched. Seattle tech founder, love bombing, triangulation with her best friend, emotional manipulation. Before Lisa, there was Amanda. I found her Twitter thread about the ex who made me feel crazy for suspecting he was cheating with my roommate. Again, unnamed, but the timeline matched. Before Amanda, Jennifer. She'd written a Medium article about recovering from a relationship where her boyfriend had gotten her younger sister pregnant. My blood ran cold. This was his pattern. Date a woman, triangulate with someone close to her, create chaos, leave destruction, move on. I called Jennifer, found her through LinkedIn, messaged her, and she actually responded. "You're Ryan's latest victim?" she asked when we video called. Ex-victim. He's moved on to someone new already. Let me guess. He had an emotional affair with someone close to you, made you feel crazy for suspecting, gaslit you into thinking you're the problem? My sister. He got my sister pregnant. Jennifer's face was sympathetic. Mine too. My sister was 22, I was 27. She kept the baby. What happened? Ryan disappeared completely. Moved to a different city, Seattle actually. My sister raised the baby alone for a year, then our parents stepped in. The kid's 5 now. Never met his father. Does Ryan know? Oh, he knows. He just doesn't care. Narcissists don't care about consequences, only supply. Supply? Narcissistic supply. Attention, admiration, drama. He got what he wanted from the situation. The excitement of the forbidden, the triangle dynamic, the chaos. Once it got real, he left. So this is what he does. This is who he is. I did research too after. There are at least 6 women with similar stories. Sisters, best friends, roommates. He targets close relationships, destroys them, and moves on. Why didn't anyone warn me? Would you have believed it? When you were in the love bombing phase, would you have believed your Prince Charming was actually a predator? She was right. I would have thought they were jealous exes. What should I do about Emma? That's up to you. But know this, Ryan will never be involved. He'll never pay child support voluntarily. He'll never acknowledge the kid. He'll disappear completely if she keeps it. He has money. Hidden offshore. Trust me, I tried. My sister tried. He's protected himself legally and financially. Going after him is expensive and futile. After the call, I sat with this information. Emma wasn't just a victim of Ryan, she was his latest casualty in a long pattern. Yes, she'd betrayed me, but she'd also been manipulated by someone expert at manipulation. I called her. Emma? Oh my God, hi. We need to talk about Ryan, about what he really is. We met at a park, neutral ground. I told her everything I'd learned. She listened, her face cycling through disbelief, recognition, and horror. So I'm just another victim in his pattern? We both are. But he said he loved me. He said he loved me too, and Lisa, and Amanda, and Jennifer, and whoever came before and after them. I feel so stupid. You're not stupid. You're 25 and someone sophisticated at manipulation targeted you. Through you. He used you to hurt me. Yes. God, Sarah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I know. What do I do now? What do you want to do? I don't know. If Ryan's not going to be involved, he won't be. He's already with someone new. Katya, 24, just moved here from Russia for grad school. He's going to do it to her too? Probably. If she has a sister or roommate. Emma touched her still flat stomach. This baby would grow up without a father. Yes. But it would have me and you? I don't know, Emma. I know I don't deserve your help. It's not about deserving. It's about what I can live with. I need time to think. Okay, I have to decide soon, though, about keeping it. I know. Sarah, do you think I should keep it? I can't make that decision for you. But what would you do?
I honestly don't know. Emma had 2 weeks to make her decision about the pregnancy. During that time, Ryan completely vanished from both our lives. He changed his number, blocked us on everything, and had his lawyers send cease and desist letters when we tried to contact him about the pregnancy. I told you, Jennifer said when I updated her on our phone call. Complete abandonment is his final move. Emma was devastated. Despite everything I told her about his pattern, part of her had still hoped Ryan would step up. Maybe if I told him I'd get rid of it, he'd come back to me? She asked desperately. Emma, no. You cannot bargain with a narcissist using a pregnancy. He's already moved on to his next victim. But what if he really loved me and this just scared him? Narcissists don't love, Emma. They collect. You were collected, used, and discarded, just like I was. The reality was crushing her, and honestly, it was crushing me too. Watching my little sister realize she'd been nothing more than a tool in Ryan's game against me was heartbreaking. I'm keeping the baby, she announced on day 12. Are you sure? I can't get rid of it. I know it sounds crazy after everything, but I already love this baby, and maybe this baby deserves better than being another casualty of Ryan's games. Okay, then we figure this out. We? I took a deep breath. This was the moment I'd been wrestling with for 2 weeks.
Emma, you made terrible choices. You betrayed me in the worst possible way. But you were also manipulated by someone who's destroyed multiple families before ours. Sarah, I'm not saying I forgive everything. I'm not saying we go back to how we were. But you're my sister, and that baby is innocent. So yes, we figure this out. Emma burst into tears and hugged me. For the first time in months, it felt like hugging my actual sister instead of a stranger. What I didn't expect was Ryan's reaction when Emma posted about her pregnancy on Instagram. Within hours of her announcement post, he was calling her from a new number. Emma, baby, I saw your post. Ryan, you blocked me everywhere. I had to process, This is huge, life-changing. I needed time to think about what this means for us. And just like that, he was back. Full love-bombing mode. I want to be involved, Emma. I want to be a father. I want us to be a family. Emma called me immediately, glowing with happiness. He wants to be with me, Sarah. He wants the baby. He says he was just scared before, but now he's ready to commit. My stomach dropped. Emma, this is part of the pattern. No, you're wrong about him. He's changed. He realizes what's important now. Within a week, Ryan had moved Emma into a beautiful apartment in downtown Seattle. He was posting about her on his Instagram, the same Instagram where he'd been flaunting Katya just days before. Suddenly, it was all pregnancy photo shoots, ultrasound pictures, and captions about the love of my life and our little miracle. Look how happy we are, Emma would text me, sending pictures of them shopping for baby clothes, looking at cribs, going to prenatal appointments. I wanted to be happy for her, but I knew this playbook. The sudden return, the over-the-top romance, the public declarations, it was textbook hoovering, a narcissist's way of sucking their victim back in. Just be careful, I warned her during one of our calls. Careful of what? The father of my child loving us? Careful of getting too attached to this version of him. Sarah, I know you're hurt about how things ended with you and Ryan, but can't you be happy that he's stepping up, that our baby will have a father? The dismissal stung, but I bit my tongue. Emma needed to learn this lesson herself. For 3 months, it was the picture-perfect love story. Ryan was the doting boyfriend, rubbing Emma's growing belly, talking to the baby, planning their future. He proposed at 20 weeks with a ring that cost more than my car. We're getting married, Emma called me, sobbing happy tears. Sarah, I'm so happy. I know this started wrong, but maybe everything happens for a reason. Maybe Ryan and I were meant to be together. I watched from the sidelines as they played house, as Ryan love-bombed Emma the same way he'd love-bombed me 3 years earlier. Same restaurants, same romantic gestures, same lines about their perfect future together. The difference was, this time I could see it clearly. The performance, the calculated romance, the way Ryan's eyes never quite matched his smile in photos. The change started around month 7 of Emma's pregnancy, just as she was getting bigger, more uncomfortable, more emotionally needy. Ryan's been working late a lot, Emma mentioned during one of our weekly dinners. How late? Like, until midnight sometimes. The company is expanding, he says. Does he text you while he's working?
Not really. He says he needs to focus. Red flag number 1. He's been weird about the baby stuff lately too, she continued. Like, I'll show him nursery ideas and he just nods and says, whatever you want. He used to be so excited about planning. Red flag number 2. And he doesn't want to have sex anymore. Says my body isn't the same and he's afraid of hurting the baby. Red flag number 3. But Emma rationalized everything, just like I had. He's just stressed about becoming a dad. It's normal, right? Men process differently. By month 8, Ryan was barely home. When he was there, he was critical and distant. Maybe you shouldn't eat that, he'd say about Emma's pregnancy cravings. You've already gained 40 pounds. The doctor says I'm fine. The doctor has to say that. Doesn't mean it's attractive. Emma started calling me more frequently, upset and confused. He said I let myself go, she cried one night. I'm 8 months pregnant. Of course I look different. Emma, that's not normal. A loving partner doesn't... But he's right, isn't he? I am huge. I am unattractive right now. You're growing his child. Maybe after the baby comes and I lose the weight, he'll be attracted to me again. The gaslighting was working on her just like it had worked on me. Emma went into labor 3 weeks early. I was her birth partner since Ryan was stuck in an important investor meeting. He'll be here, she kept saying between contractions. He wouldn't miss his son being born. But hour after hour passed with no Ryan. Emma called him 15 times, no answer. Maybe his phone died, she rationalized while pushing. Maybe, I agreed, holding her hand, knowing better. Little James Ryan Chen was born at 3:47 a.m. on a Tuesday. Emma was exhausted but glowing, holding her son, taking pictures to send to Ryan. He's so beautiful, she whispered. Ryan's going to fall in love the moment he sees him. Ryan showed up 6 hours later, still in the clothes he'd worn the night before, smelling like perfume that wasn't Emma's. Sorry, babe. The meeting ran so late, I just crashed at the office. Emma was too happy to notice the lie. She placed James in Ryan's arms, beaming. Isn't he perfect? Ryan held his son for exactly 30 seconds before handing him back. Yeah, very small. Babies are small, Ryan. He's actually pretty big for being early. If you say so. That was it. No tears, no overwhelming love, no father-son bonding moment. Just indifference. Over the next 2 weeks, Ryan became increasingly absent. He'd leave early, come home late, spend weekends at the office. When he was home, he complained about the crying, the mess, the lack of sleep. This isn't what I signed up for, he muttered one night when James woke up for the 3rd time. You signed up for a baby, Emma said, exhausted. Babies cry. I signed up for the idea of a baby, not this chaos. Ryan, I need help. I can barely shower, I'm so tired. Well, maybe you should have thought about that before deciding to keep it. The cruelty in his voice was shocking, even to me, and I'd lived through his manipulations. Emma started crying. You thought you wanted this. You said you wanted to be a family. I thought the fantasy of a family. This is just exhausting. It gets easier. Does it? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like 18 years of this. The final blow came when James was 3 weeks old. I was visiting Emma, helping with feedings, when Ryan walked in with suitcases. Where are you going? Emma asked. I got offered a position in Austin. I'm taking it. Austin? What about us? What about you? Your son, Ryan, our son. You'll be fine. You have Sarah, you have your parents. Emma was holding James, staring at Ryan like she'd never seen him before. You're leaving us? I'm not abandoning anyone. I'm being honest about what I can handle. You love-bombed me back just to leave when it got real? I thought I could do it. I was wrong. So that's it? 3 years of my life, your son, our engagement, all meaningless? Not meaningless, just finished. Emma looked at me with devastation in her eyes. Everything I'd warned her about was happening in real time.
Ryan, please, don't do this. I love you. James needs his father.
James needs a father who wants to be a father. That's not me." He kissed the top of James's head and walked out. Just like that. No forwarding address, no child support arrangement, no plan to ever see his son again. Emma collapsed into my arms, sobbing while holding her 3-week-old son. "You were right," she whispered. "You were right about everything." The next few months were brutal. Emma fell into a deep postpartum depression, compounded by abandonment and betrayal. She couldn't eat, barely slept even when James was sleeping, and seemed to disappear into herself. "I'm such an idiot," she'd say constantly. "I destroyed my relationship with you. I destroyed my life, and for what? For a man who didn't even want his own child." "Emma, you were manipulated." "I was selfish. I saw that you had something good and I wanted it for myself. I chose to believe his lies because I wanted them to be true." She wasn't wrong, but she also wasn't entirely to blame. "You made bad choices," I agreed, "but Ryan is a predator. He targets women through their close relationships, specifically because it maximizes the damage when he leaves." "I should have listened to you." "Yes, you should have." "Do you hate me?" I looked at my sister, broken and holding her son, and felt the complicated mix of anger, love, and protective instinct I'd been wrestling with for months. "I don't hate you, Emma. I hate what you did. I hate that you chose him over me. I hate that you believed his lies about me being jealous and controlling. But I don't hate you. I don't deserve your forgiveness. Maybe not yet, but James deserves an aunt, and you deserve a chance to make this right." "How do I make this right?" "By being the best mother you can be, by never putting a man before your family again, by getting therapy and figuring out why you were so vulnerable to his manipulation." Emma did get therapy, lots of it. She also got on antidepressants, joined a single mother's support group, and slowly started rebuilding her life. Meanwhile, I found myself falling in love with James. He looked exactly like Emma as a baby. Big brown eyes, dark hair, button nose. When he smiled, it had nothing to do with Ryan and everything to do with pure, innocent joy. "He likes you better than me," Emma said one day, watching James light up when I walked into the room. "That's not true." "It kind of is. You're not exhausted and depressed all the time." "You're his mother, Emma. Nothing is stronger than that bond." But I was spending more and more time with both of them. Emma needed help, and honestly, I needed them too. Taking care of James gave me purpose after the devastation of losing the future I'd planned with Ryan. When James was 6 months old, Emma made a decision that surprised me. "I want you to be his legal guardian if something happens to me." "Emma." "No, listen. You've been more of a parent to him than his actual father. You love him, you're stable, you're responsible. If something happened to me, I'd want him with you, not our parents. Nothing's going to happen to you, but if it did." "Okay, if it makes you feel better." "It does. And Sarah, I want to make this official in another way too." "What do you mean?" "I want to change his last name from Chen to Trace. He should have our family name, not the name of a man who abandoned him." "Are you sure?" "I'm sure. Ryan gave up any right to have his son carry his name when he walked away." So, James Ryan Chen became James Ryan Trace. A small change that felt like a big victory. Over the next few months, we developed a rhythm. Emma worked part-time from home, doing social media consulting. She'd parlayed her influencer experience into a legitimate business. I helped with James before and after work, and often stayed overnight when he was sick or Emma was overwhelmed. "We're like sister wives without the husband," Emma joked one night after we'd tag-teamed a particularly difficult bedtime routine. That's a disturbing comparison, but accurate. We're raising a child together. It was accurate, and it was working. James started calling me Mama Sarah around his first birthday. Emma initially tried to correct me. That's Aunt Sarah, but I didn't mind. He can call me whatever feels natural to him. Doesn't it bother you that you're doing all this work for a child that isn't yours? He feels like mine, I admitted. Is that wrong? No, it's beautiful. You chose to love him even though his conception hurt you. That's more than his biological father ever did. On James's second birthday, Emma asked me the question I'd been dreading. Sarah, do you think I'm a terrible person?
But I am, aren't I? I slept with your boyfriend. I got pregnant by him. I chose him over you repeatedly. I let him manipulate me into believing you were the problem. You made terrible choices, I said carefully. But you were also victimized by someone who's very good at manipulation. Does that excuse what I did to you? No, but it explains it. Will you ever really forgive me? I'd been in therapy too, working through my anger and betrayal. The answer wasn't simple. I'm working on it, Emma. Some days I forgive you completely. Other days I remember how it felt to realize my sister and my boyfriend had betrayed me, and the anger comes back. What can I do? Keep being a good mother. Keep being honest about what happened. Keep respecting my feelings when I need space. And keep going to therapy? Definitely keep going to therapy. We both laughed. It was the first time we'd laughed together about the situation. When James was 2.5, Ryan resurfaced. Emma got a text from an unknown number. "How's my son?" She screenshotted it and sent it to me immediately. What do I do? Nothing. Don't respond. But Ryan wasn't done. He started calling, texting, even showing up at Emma's apartment. I made a mistake, he told her through the door she refused to open. I want to meet my son. I want to be involved. You had 2.5 years to be involved, Emma shouted back. I needed time to grow up, to figure out what was important. What changed? I got tired of running. I want to settle down, build something real. Emma called me panicking. What if he tries to take James? What if he has rights? He signed away his parental rights when he abandoned James, I reminded her. But let's call a lawyer to be sure. The lawyer confirmed that Ryan had no legal standing. He'd never paid child support, never been involved, had never even met James after the hospital. He'd effectively abandoned his child. But Ryan was persistent. He started showing up at the coffee shop where Emma worked, at the park where she took James, at our parents' house. I just want to meet my son, he'd say. Don't I deserve that? You deserve nothing, I told him when he approached me at the grocery store. Sarah, you look good. I've missed you. I've missed having to lock my doors because my ex might show up uninvited. I know I hurt you. You didn't hurt me, Ryan. You destroyed me. Then you destroyed my sister. Then you abandoned your child. You don't get to come back now and play the repentant father. People change. Narcissists don't change. They just find new ways to manipulate. I went to therapy. For how long? 3 months. 3 months? You think 3 months of therapy erases 3 years of damage? I'm trying to make amends. By stalking your ex and the mother of the child you abandoned? By taking responsibility. Taking responsibility would have been staying when James was born. Taking responsibility would have been paying child support. Taking responsibility would have been a father instead of a sperm donor. Ryan's facade slipped for just a moment, and I saw the anger underneath. That child is half mine. That child is fully Emma's. You're a stranger to him. We'll see about that. The threat was clear, and it terrified me. Ryan hired a lawyer and filed for visitation rights. Despite having no relationship with James, despite abandoning him, despite never paying support, he claimed he wanted to be involved now. It's about control, my lawyer explained. He can't stand that you and Emma have built a life without him. This isn't about James. It's about dominance. The court case was brutal. Ryan showed up looking like the successful businessman he was, with character references and a sob story about being overwhelmed by new fatherhood and needing time to mature. Emma and I showed up with 3 years of documentation: his abandonment, his refusal to pay support, his complete absence from James' life. Your Honor, Ryan's lawyer argued, my client made mistakes, but he's ready to be a father now. Every child deserves a relationship with both parents. Your Honor, our lawyer countered, Mr. Chen had 2.5 years to be a father. He chose to abandon his son completely. This sudden interest coincides with learning that the mother has built a stable, successful life. This is about control, not parenthood. The judge asked Ryan directly, Mr. Chen, can you tell me your son's favorite food? I don't know yet. That's what visitation would help me learn. His birthday? March 15th. It was March 18th. His middle name? Ryan, after me. His last name? Chen, like mine. Actually, his legal name is James Ryan Trace. Miss Trace changed his name when you abandoned him. Ryan's face flushed with anger. He had no right. She had every right. You signed no birth certificate, claimed no paternity, paid no support, and had no contact with the child for over 2 years. The judge ruled in our favor. No visitation for Ryan, no parental rights, no claim to James. Mr. Chen, the judge said sternly, you don't get to abandon a child and then decide to parent when it's convenient. If you were truly interested in your son's welfare, you would have been involved from the beginning. Outside the courthouse, Ryan cornered Emma and me. This isn't over. Yes, it is, Emma said firmly. You lost. Leave us alone. That's my son. That's Emma's son, I interrupted. You're nothing to him. You turned her against me. You turned her against you by abandoning your child. I'll appeal. With what money? Your startup failed, didn't it? That's why you're back. You need a family to look responsible for investors. His face went white. I'd guessed correctly. You don't know anything about my situation. I know narcissists. I know that you only show up when you need something. What do you need, Ryan? Money? A place to stay? A redemption story for your next victim? Fuck you, Sarah. There's the real Ryan. Emma, remember this moment. This is who he actually is. Emma looked at the man who'd fathered her child with complete clarity for the first time. Don't contact us again, she said. Don't come to our homes, our workplaces, or anywhere near our son. If you do, I'll call the police. Emma! I said, don't contact us. Ever. We walked away, leaving Ryan standing outside the courthouse alone. That was 2 years ago. James is now 4.5. He's smart, funny, kind, and has no memory of his biological father. He calls me Mama Sarah and Emma Mama Emma, and thinks it's perfectly normal to have 2 moms who are sisters. Emma finished her degree in business, built her consulting company into a successful operation, and bought a house 3 blocks from mine.
We co-parent James seamlessly now. He spends weeknights with Emma and weekends with me, or whatever arrangement works for our schedules. Do you ever regret it? Emma asked me recently, giving up the chance for your own family to help raise mine? I said, James is my family. This is my family. But what about marriage, kids of your own, the life you planned with Ryan? The life I planned with Ryan was a fantasy, built on lies. This life, chaotic, unconventional, built from the ashes of the trail, this life is real. Emma has dated occasionally, but she's very careful now. She understands the red flags, recognizes love bombing, and won't introduce anyone to James unless she's been with them for over a year. I'll never put a man before my family again, she told me. I'll never risk James' stability for a relationship. I'm proud of her growth. The sister who betrayed me for a man has become a mother who would protect her son from anyone. As for me, I've dated too. I'm actually in a serious relationship with David, a teacher I met at James' preschool. He knew our whole story from the beginning. I refuse to start any relationship with secrets. So, let me get this straight, David said on our third date. Your ex got your sister pregnant, abandoned them both, and now you co-parent your nephew? Yes, it's complicated. It's beautiful. You chose love over revenge. You chose family over pride. That's not complicated. That's extraordinary. David loves James like his own, and James adores him. But we take things slow, all of us having learned the difference between genuine love and narcissistic performance. So, what would you do? I ask you, sitting here 4 years later, watching James play in the backyard while Emma makes dinner and David helps with homework. What would you do if your sister betrayed you with your boyfriend? If she got pregnant by him? If he abandoned them both? Would you choose revenge or forgiveness? Would you choose anger or love? Would you choose to be right or to be family? I chose family. It wasn't easy. There were days I wanted to walk away, to let Emma figure it out alone, to make her pay for what she had done to me.
But James didn't choose his conception. He didn't choose his father's abandonment. He was innocent in all of this. And Emma, while guilty of betrayal, was also a victim of manipulation by someone who destroys families for sport. Sometimes healing looks like walking away. Sometimes it looks like forgiveness. Sometimes it looks like building something entirely new from the wreckage of what was destroyed. Our family looks nothing like what I imagined at 29, when I thought Ryan and I would marry and have kids and live happily ever after. But it's real, it's loving, and it's ours. James will grow up knowing that sometimes people who share your DNA can hurt you deeply, but they can also choose love over anger. He'll know that men like his biological father exist, but he'll also know what real love looks like through David's patience and kindness. He'll understand that families aren't just biological. They're chosen, built, and maintained through conscious decisions to show up for each other. Most importantly, he'll never doubt that he's loved, wanted, and valued, regardless of the circumstances of his birth. That's worth more than revenge. That's worth more than being right. That's worth more than the perfect life I thought I wanted. If you're dealing with narcissistic manipulation, family betrayal, or impossible forgiveness decisions, know this. You get to choose how your story ends. You can choose bitterness or healing. You can choose isolation or connection. You can choose to be defined by what was done to you or by what you choose to do next. I chose love. Messy, complicated, hard-earned love. And I've never regretted it. Ryan followed the same pattern with both me and Emma. Understanding this helped me realize that nothing that happened was really about love. It was about power and control from someone who destroys families for entertainment. If this story sounds familiar, if you're questioning your own reality in a relationship, trust your instincts. Healthy love doesn't make you feel crazy. You deserve better. We all do. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it helps you recognize manipulation in your own life, or at least helps you feel less alone if you've experienced family betrayal. Remember, you are not responsible for other people's choices, but you are responsible for your response to them. Choose wisely. Choose love when you can. Choose yourself when you must. Sarah Trace, Portland, Oregon.
And so, this story comes to an end, but the pain it carries is real and lasting. Behind his mask, there may be charm, but also lies, manipulation, and silence. If you've experienced something similar, please don't hesitate to share it in the comments below or send it to us directly. Your story matters, your truth matters, and your voice might be the one that saves someone else from falling into the same trap. Together, we break the silence. Together, we unmask the lies. And together, we rise stronger. Thank you for listening. Share this story. Save a sister. End the fetishization.